Washington really, that game changed on the block punt and the return. The Cowboys, instead of being down 16-7, were up 14-13, took off in the second half. The Washington, amazing they made the game that close considering their offensive line. We're going to get word about Elliott after 5 o'clock. He had another big game yesterday. The second straight week the Cowboys clicked on offense. They're 4-3 right now, going into this week's games. And, they're in pretty good shape as far as, they seem like they've righted the ship a little bit. They have a big game this week with Kansas City. We'll see where Elliott's suspension is after the ruling this afternoon. Eagles win over the 49ers. No surprise there. Niners finally have taken on the chin the last couple of weeks. That's the first, other than that, they had been close. But the Eagles go about their business, get themselves now to 7-1. Very good shape they're in right now. Really tremendous start to the season. They get Denver this week. Denver has a tough time. They have Kansas City tonight, and then they're at Philadelphia on Sunday. So very tough turnaround, big time. Big 6 days for Denver, the way they've hit the skids and the 2 games they're going to play here in the next couple of days. The Seahawks and the Texans played that 41-38 shootout. Big numbers for both quarterbacks. Watson put up 4 touchdowns. And Wilson was equally impressive, putting up a lot of big numbers in the game himself. They both did a big job, both put up a lot of points. So both quarterbacks have big days, and Seattle wins it 41-38 in a game that was surprisingly high scoring. Vikings beat the Browns in London. Cleveland was winning for a while, and then a couple of turnovers later, the next thing you know, that game's over. They just don't know how to win a game. They really just can't get the job done. Minnesota has done a very nice job considering the injuries they've had. They should get Bridgewater soon to help them at quarterback. They, have done a nice job really all the way around, and find themselves atop the division at 6-2, considering the Lions are 3-4 after last night. Tough go right now for the Lions. The Lions have lost some really tough games. Last night, another one. But Minnesota at 6-2, in good shape right now. Bye week this week for the Vikings at 6-2. So, pretty good shape. And considering Green Bay's plight with the quarterback situation there. Pats beat the Chargers into their bye week. So the Pats, for all of their problems and how poorly they've looked at times, find themselves at 6-2. Considering they've lost twice at home and haven't lost on the road, you don't see them probably losing again and squandering that. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost one game the rest of the way and went 13-3. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that would be typical of them. That's just kind of who they are. This week buys for the Bears, the Vikings, the Pats, the Chargers, the Browns, and the Steelers all have off this week. Panthers win against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has really disappointed this year. Be careful if you're Dirk Cutter, because they had high hopes for that team this year, and I think they badly underachieved with that team. Panthers did a good job on defense. Their offense, nothing to write home about, but they've got the job done. And again, big job for them on defense in that game. You got to like that from the Carolina standpoint. Going to be a lot of big games in that division, because look at how things have shaken out. After their win yesterday against the Bears, which was closer than it should have been, because 2 fourth-quarter Ingram fumbles when they were driving for scores really killed New Orleans, and New Orleans wound up winning the game anyway, but made the game a lot closer than it should have been against the Bears. But they have won 5 in a row. They're 5-2. Carolina's 5-3. Atlanta, off the win yesterday against the Jets, are 4-3. So that division, those three teams, are going to be fascinating. A lot of games to be played. Atlanta starts it this week with a game at Carolina. So those teams have a lot of games to play against each other. Going to be very interesting to see what they do. Buffalo, which plays the Jets here Thursday night, very good job for them with that win over the Raiders yesterday. Really impressive game for the Bills. Got to give them credit. That head coach there, Sean McDermott's done a very good job with the Buffalo defense. They've really done a superb job. They're 5-2. They've only allowed 115 points this year. Wonderful job they've done on defense. Got enough out of the offense to keep them competitive. So, very good win for them. And if they beat the Jets this week and close out the first half at 6-2, they are in really good shape. As far as the Bengals, they get that pick six late to win that game. They shouldn't have won that game yesterday. They got outplayed by the Colts, but they got the pick six in the fourth quarter and win that game 24-23. Like I said, the Colts outplayed them. The Bengals got to win. Colts, talk now. You know, there was stories yesterday that Luck will not be back this year. Some people said that his career's in jeopardy, might need surgery. He's got to go to doctors again. I can't see them putting him back on the field this year, and they are already 2-6, so they're going to be obviously playing out the string after going through some very competitive years where they've played over their head because of the play of their young quarterback. But he is so beat up now, and that's the issue. The Steelers hold on for dear life against the Lions last night, so they continue their winning ways. Lions have lost some really brutal games. Last night you can put in there again. And then tonight, Kansas City and the Broncos play the Chiefs off a pair of losses after their very good start. Have been even competitive in the losses. Won to Pittsburgh and won last week that they lost on the road. So now they find themselves at 5-2. And here comes the Broncos. The Broncos have looked really bad the last couple of weeks, shut out by San Diego last week. So they'll be looking to bounce back this week. Denver's got to run the ball on the road or they can't win. If they don't run the ball against the Chiefs and run it well, they will not win this game tonight. This is going to be a very tough spot for them. And if you look at it, Andy Reid knows he has the Broncos tonight and then has a big game against Dallas on Sunday, while Denver's at Philly on Sunday. So they both have big games next week coming off what will be a very interesting Monday nighter this evening between Denver, which has struggled mightily of late. Last couple of games got beat by the Giants, then went and got shut out by San Diego, and the Chiefs coming off a couple of losses. When we come back, the head football coach of the Giants, Ben McAdoo, joins us.